Today we are going to study one more beautiful lesson, that is a poem. The title of the poem is that Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. As we all know, it's a very beautiful poem which is going to give message to in many ways. That one we are going to study. Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher is a beautiful poem written by Abraham Lincoln. You know that Abraham Lincoln was born on 12th February 1809 in Kentucky. He was born to parents who belongs to low social standing and little education, and we should know that he was the 16th president of the United States, and he worked very hard in order to abolish the slavery in America. With this brief information about Abraham Lincoln, and again it's very popular point is that Abraham Lincoln is a great inspiration to many people who wants to achieve success in their lives. I hope you can understand little bit about Abraham Lincoln. Now let us come to the poem. When we come to the poem, you know that we feel that it is a great poem, and of course Abraham Lincoln, you know that we feel very proud about him, and also we can say that Abraham Lincoln as a model father. You know that what happens today, most of our parents, what they are expecting from their children and from the school and from the teachers. You know that most of the parents at present, they expect that only their children should get more and more marks. They have to well settle in their lives. And also they expect from the teachers and from the school the same thing. But among these parents, Abraham Lincoln stands as a model parent. Let us study to know why we should treat him as a model parent, why we should treat as a great father. You know that he writes this letter to the sons of his teachers, not as a president of America. When he wrote this letter, he was the president of America. He did not write this letter to the teachers not as a president, but as a caring father of his son. So let us study what kind of values he expects from the teachers and the school. What kind of things that his son should learn at the school. You know that definitely it's a very wonderful poem which is going to give us message. You know that this is the message which is going to give the message to many people, in the sense it's going to give the message to parents what they should expect from the school. It is also going to give the message to the children what they should learn actually from the school. And also it's going to give a very wonderful message, and of course you know that cautious message to the teachers what they should teach to the children and what is their role in the shaping the future of the children. In that way this letter is going to guide, motivate, and you know that encourages the people. And one more thing what I want to say, this poem is just like a constitution of education. As we all know, our Indian constitution that directs to the that the political system of our country. Here this particular poem is going to guide the teachers, parents and learners, and also it's going to direct the government in what way they should frame the curriculum and other thing. Anyhow, that is why I can consider it as the constitution of education. And of course it's no less greater than you know that the holy books like Gita, Quran, and you know that Bible, whatever it may be. Anyhow, such a very wonderful and valuable poem it is. Now let me start reading the poem. Then I'm going to explain it by line. So in the first some of the lines he is going to say that his child should know the society, or you can say in the life, that he can see different kinds of people. He should know about it. That one is going to say, let me read. He will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just, all men are not true, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him for every enemy there is a friend. These are the beautiful lines. These lines suggest that his child should know that in the society he finds different kinds of people. That in the society he can find the people, okay, not the combination of both bad and good, black and white, immorality and morality. So such kind of people he can find. He says that he will have to learn. He means here his son should learn at the school. What? That all men are not just. Just means here, that honest, fair, and the man who follows the justice, he is called as a just. He says that he will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just and all men are not true. It means that he expects that the teacher should teach his child the reality of the life. There is nothing but in the society that child can find both kind of people, good and bad, moral and immoral, black and white. In that way he can find the people. He should know that the nature of the people. So different kinds of people will be there in the society. That one his child should know. The teacher should teach that particular point to his child. Then also he continues, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him for every enemy there is a friend. What a beautiful combination. Scoundrel and hero, selfish politician and dedicated leader, enemy and friend. What these particular terms suggest? It means that with every human being we find both the qualities, good and bad. But that when we find some bad quality with a particular person, that he expects that his child should not come to the final conclusion, and he should not treat that particular person that he remains continuously bad throughout his life. He tells that his child should know for every scoundrel. Scoundrel means here the man who is not honest, the man who is not just. So such kind of person can be considered as a scoundrel. But again the Abraham Lincoln says that for every scoundrel there is a hero. It means that when we take a particular individual, in him we can find both good and bad qualities. At present that particular person may be bad, he may have some wrong qualities, but that's not final. The same person, the man who is not just today, one day when he gets the proper guidance or the proper inspiration or the proper education, that particular bad person, unjust person can be turned into a hero. It means that one side he should know that there is a bad person, and at the same time he tells that his child should be positive about the changes in the future, and also he should be very optimistic that the same person can become a hero in future. So he should know this kind of thing. And also he says that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. It means that we find some selfish politicians, but when he gets the proper inspiration or that the lesson, that he can be changed into a dedicated leader. And also he tells that for every enemy there is a friend. It means that whether we wish or we may not wish, whether we want or don't want, but some definitely we are going to find some enemies in our life and on the path of our life. But that it is not necessary to quarrel with him, it's not necessary to fight with him. What he tells, even though he finds the enemies, you should make my child to be able to convert that enemy into a good friend of him. It means that he should change even, that enemy into a friend. That kind of thing you should teach to my child. That one he expects from the teachers, from the school, in the first few lines. And in the next few lines he is going to give importance to the, that the importance of the labor and the hard work. Let us see. He says, it will take time, I know, but teach him if you can, that $1 earned is of far more value than £5. Teach him to learn to lose and also to enjoy winning. Steer him away from envy if you can. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Let him learn early that the bullies are the easiest to lick. See, here he says that it will take time, I know. It means that he says teaching values or teaching morality is a difficult task. And of course, he knew the truth that teaching is not an easy job. Teaching is not the cup of everybody's tea. He knew the importance of the role of the teacher, and also he knew it was a very difficult task to teach the values for the children. Again, he was very hopeful and optimist. And again, he says that I know very well that it takes the time. But he says, what he says, my child should know. What he should know? Teach him. And what he should learn? $1 earned is of far more value than £5. It means that here he expect that his child should know the importance of labor and hard work. So here $1 means that a child earn in the right way, in the legal way. So he says that even he may earn $1 on the right path. He says that has got a greater value than the £5 that he earns in the wrong way. It means that he expects that his child should learn to respect the hard work and also the labor, and also he should go in the right path to earn the things in the life. That one he expects. And also he says that teach him to learn to lose and also to enjoy winning. Losing and winning. It means that his child should know the truth of life, fact of life. That's nothing but the life is a mixture of both winning and losing. Sometimes, he may lose, but he expects that my child should know losing, how to lose, and also make him to know the truth that, that the failure is not the permanent. That today's failure may become the glory of tomorrow. That fact should be known by my child. So that's why you should make him to know that winning and losing both are the two faces of the same coin. In life, both are common. Success is not the permanent and failure is not an end. So failure is the first step to the success in future. So that one my child should know. That one the teachers have to teach to my child. That one he expects. And again he says, steer him away from envy if you can. He says a very wonderful value. Nothing can be achieved by having the quality of envy with us. He says that steer him away. Steer him away means guide him, tell him, and also direct him to be away from the envy if you can. It means that you should tell my child there is no profit. There is nothing we get from having the quality of envy or hating others or having jealous for others is not a good quality. Teach him that, or try to teach my child to be away from that quality called jealous, or you can say envy. And also he says, what? Make my child to know. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. It means that make my child to know, that the importance of quiet laughter. It means that perfect laughing. Okay, laughing by heart, laughing wholeheartedly. It's very important one. So make my child to laugh. Teach my child to laugh, and also teach my child to laugh wholeheartedly. That one you have to teach him. That he expects from the teachers. And also he says that let him learn early that the bullies are the easiest to lick. It means, that indirectly he says that make my child to be strong. Because if he is weak, If he is too innocent in the society, the people who are strong in the society, those people can take the advantage of my child's innocence and also weakness. So they can defeat him very easily. That's why make my child to be strong in the society, and even sometimes he should be able to face the challenges that comes on his way of life. That one he expects. That's why he says the bullies are the easiest to lick. Bullies means the people who are very strong. Lick means here to defeat someone. It means that the strong people can defeat the innocent people and weak people very easily. That's why indirectly he suggests that make my child to be strong to face such kind of strong people in the society in the right way. And in the next some lines he suggests, or he tells the importance of that the reading books and also the mysteries in the nature. It means that my child should know that the importance of reading books and also the values or the lessons that we can learn from the nature. That's why he says, teach him if you can the wonder of books. That he says books are very valuable sources, and even it is said that one good book is equal to 100 friends. Even we don't have anything with us, but at least we should carry one book in our hand. These things we have learned. It means that my child should have to cultivate the habit of reading the books, because books can be the source of energy. Books can become the solution of our so many problems, and even good books can inspire us in the right way to go, and also books can change our lives. So such kind of that value the books have. That's why you have to make my child to become the lover of books and also good reader of the books. And also he says, what he says, to ponder the eternal mystery. It means that he says, but also give him quite time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and the flowers on the green hillside. In these three lines, he knows the truth that even we can learn so many lessons from the nature. With every aspect of nature, definitely we will learn some message, we learn some lessons. So similarly, he says that you should make my child to give importance to the nature and also make him to make the time to observe the things in the nature. And also he tells that my child can also learn some wonderful lessons from the nature. That's why he says, but also give him quite time to ponder. To ponder means to think deeply or carefully on a particular matter. So to ponder the eternal mystery means permanent mystery of birds in the sky, the beautiful flying of the birds in the sky, bees in the sun. That it's a very wonderful thing to see that the bees are working very hard in the sun, bees in the sun, and the flowers on a green hillside. That when we go to the green hillside or hills, definitely we can find the greenish things there, as well as we can see the wonderful flowers there. So that's why in these lines he suggests that the teacher should make my child to the reader of the books, as well as he should be able to give some time to observe the things in the nature, from which he can learn some beautiful and valuable lessons. So that's why he expects that one from the teachers. Let us continue the next lines, and that in the next lines that he expects that the teacher should make my child to be a unique person. He should be different from others. Let us read the lines. What he says: in the school teach him, it is far honorable to fail than to cheat. See here what a wonderful line he says. That in the school teach him means the teacher should teach to his child. What they should teach? It is far honorable to fail than to cheat. It means that he suggests my child to become honest, my child to become sincere. It means that you should make my child to know writing the exams on his own without following any wrong way or doing copy or making cheats and other things. He says that even though he may fail, but teach my child there is nothing he is going to lose if he fails in the exam because he follows the right path. So he says that it is far honorable to fail, even though he may fail, but it is honorable. It is respected. Teach this particular point to my child. It means that he expects that the teacher should teach my child to write the exams on his own without following any wrong way, just like making the copy and other things. So that one. And you know that it says that it is far honorable to fail than to cheat means, it means that you should make my child to become honest in writing the exams. This may be a small lesson to him, but he can follow the same quality throughout his life in everything. He can carry the same honesty throughout his life. That's why having this intention from the initial stages of his child's life, the teacher should make him to be honest in everything. That one he expect. Then he says, teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. He says that whatever the ideas he had believed, so the Abraham Lincoln requests the teachers to teach his child to have the strong faith in his ideas. Even though all people are telling they are wrong, definitely it happens with everyone. When we have our own ideas, when we believe in something, but most of the people, what they say, they are not going to agree with our belief, and also they are not going to agree with our ideas. Definitely they will say they are wrong and other thing. So but Abraham Lincoln expects that. So the teacher should be able his child to believe in his ideas very strongly. So that one he expects. And also teach him to be gentle with gentle people and tough with the tough people. It means that he expects that the teacher should teach his child to be gentle with gentle people and to tough with the tough people. And in the next some more other lines, he is going to teach some wonderful values. Nothing but he says that his child should be unique and also different from others. What he says, try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone is getting on the bandwagon. It means that what he says, try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. Not to follow the crowd means the teacher should make my child to be courageous to go in the different path which the most of the people have been afraid to go. It means that in everything my child should be courageous and also he should be brave enough to go in the path that has been rejected by many people. So what happens usually, what we will do, most of us, we will follow the people where they go or the thing that they are doing. But Abraham Lincoln expects that this should not happen. My child should not become the follower of the people. Okay, na? So what he tells, my child should be able to go in his own way. That's why he says, try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. Means he should not follow the crowd, the people. When everyone is getting on the bandwagon means here popular path. Most of the people, that they hurry towards the popular path. But my child, he has to become different. He should not become the follower of the crowd. He should not follow the path that the most of the people are following. So he should be more confident one, courageous one to choose the different path which the most of the people are afraid to go. So in that way, my child should go, but he should not become the follower of the other people. And then teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth. So it's a very wonderful lesson. It means that he expects that the teacher should teach his child to listen to all men. There is nothing we are going to lose by listening to all the people. So people may tell anything, whether it may be right or wrong, good or bad, whatever it may be. But he expects that his child should be able to listen to all. After listening everything and everyone, okay, my child should be able to filter all he hears on a screen of truth. It means that his child should be able to filter. Filter means nothing but just thinking which is right and which is wrong, which is good and which is bad, which is positive and which is negative. So it means that my child, after hearing to everyone and everything, he should be able to filter all he hears on a screen of truth. It means that he should take his own time to think about which is right and wrong. So after filtering on the screen of truth, he should be able to choose the right one ultimately. That one he expects. The same thing should be taught to his child from the teachers. That one he requests. And again he says, what he says, teach him if you can now how to laugh when he is sad. It means that he says, that it's a very difficult task to laugh when we are sad usually. But that again, he expects that even his child should be able to laugh when he is sad. It means that it shows his child should be optimistic about the good things to happen. His child should be hopeful that the good things to happen. It means that he should know whatever the thing that is bitter that has happened in his life is not the permanent one. So it means that he expects that he should be able to face such kind of challenges in the life. And also his child should think that it is not the permanent one, it is the temporary. When my child should know this truth, definitely he will be able to laugh. That one he expects. And again he says, that teach him there is no shame in tears. He says that teach him there is no shame in tears. It means that sometimes what we feel whenever some bad things will happen in our lives, or when we fail in something, most of us think that it is a shame, it is an insulting one. But Abraham Lincoln says that, but to teach him there is no shame in tears. It means that in European countries, what usually they think crying is nothing but it is a purification. That one they feel. But in our side, what we feel, it's the same. But Abraham Lincoln expects that teach my child that there is nothing we have to feel shame in crying. That one he says. Whenever he feels bitter or bad, make my child to cry, no problem at all. Tell him that there is nothing shame in crying. That one the teacher should teach to his child. And again he says, teach him to scoff at cynics. Very useful one. Teach him to scoff at cynics. Scoff means here to make fun of. Cynics means here nothing but the people who always that are ready to criticize every action of us. So such kind of people are called as cynics. It means that make my child to make fun of the criticism by the others, and to beware of too much sweetness. It means that some friends will be there, some people will be there, they always talk some sweet words in front of us. But that he tells that his child should know the truth, that there is no use from such people, because if they always keep speaking the good things, so my child will not be able to understand his faults, his mistakes. So from such people there will be no use. That's why he tells, teach my child to be aware of too much of sweetness. And again he says, teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders. It is a very easy thing. Okay, teach my child to sell. What he has to sell? His brawn and brain. Here nothing but brawn means muscular strength, physical strength. Brain means here nothing but his intelligence. It means that he can sell both brawn and brain. It means physical strength, muscular strength, and also his intelligence. He can sell for what? To the highest bidders. Bidder means here the one who values for something, the one who pays more money for something. It means that he should be able to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders. And then, but never to put a price tag on his soul. Okay, teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders. There is no fault. Selling our brawn means physical strength or muscular strength. Brain means here our intelligence and skill. So selling our strength and selling our skill per highest rate, per the highest price, no fault at all. Nothing wrong is there. But teach my child one important value. That is, you should make my child that he should never put a price tag on his soul. Soul means here nothing but where we can find all the values of good human being. It may be kindness, generosity, and helping nature, and to be honest. So all these qualities, okay, you should teach my child that he should never put a price tag to his soul. And the next he continues, teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and point if he thinks he is right. It means that teach him to close his ears to a howling mob. Howling mob means here nothing but when we are going to do something, there are certain people in the society, they are always going to talk some negative words about our task that we are going to do. Or they can criticize, or they can give some negative comments. But teach my child to close his ears to a howling mob. So if my child listens to those words, if my child takes seriously those words, he cannot do anything. He can't progress. So that's why teach my child that he should be able to close his ears to such a howling mob and to stand and point if he thinks he is right. It means that you should make my child to be very strong enough and also to fight if he thinks he is right. So whenever my child is going to do something and if he believes that that is correct, that's right, so you should make my child to fight for it. You should make my child to be strong enough to do that. That one you should teach. And the next he says, treat him gently, but do not cuddle him. It means that my child is too young, and you know that my child is too innocent. That's why treat him gently. But at the same time, you know that he tells to the teachers, but do not cuddle him. Cuddle him means here, cuddle means nothing but treating the child in all the comfortable manner. It's not good. He says, treat him gently, but do not cuddle him. It means that by giving too much of care and love, you should not spoil him. Because only the test of fire makes fine steel. You know that he talks about the furnacing. Okay, now when we keep that iron in the fire, definitely that fire, that test of fire that makes the fine steel. It means that my child should be able to face the problems in the life. He should know all the challenges in the life, and after knowing and facing all the challenges, definitely he can also be strong enough to face all those things. Similarly, that's why he says, what he says, that make my child. So it's just like the test of fire makes fine steel. It means that my child should know all the challenges of the life. Then only he can become a brave person and a good person and also strong enough to face every challenge of his life. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Most of us, what we think, patience is a quality of weak people. Not at all. Okay, becoming or having that quality, definitely it's the quality of the strong people. That's why he says, Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Okay, na? So if we want to be patient, that we should have the bravery. That's why he says, let him have the patience to be brave. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself. Okay, you should make my child to have sublime faith. Sublime means here supreme faith in himself, because then he will have sublime faith in mankind. Abraham Lincoln knew the fact, he knew the truth that unless and until we believe in ourselves, we cannot believe the others. So that's why he says, make my child to have sublime faith in himself, supreme faith in himself. When he has a supreme faith in himself, then only he will have the supreme faith in mankind. That's why you should make my child to have the faith in himself. This is a big order. That we should not think that order in the sense being a president, he is putting some force to the teachers. Not at all. Even the whole letter is in the form of the request. Even in the beginning itself, I told you that Abraham Lincoln wrote this letter not as a president of America. He wrote this letter as a careful father, concerned father of a child. That's why that he wrote this letter in the form of request, not a command. But here he tells this is a big order. It means that with much love and that respect, he says this word. But see what you can do. Okay, but see what you can do. It means that in the above lines, he put all the points what he expects from the teachers. By giving all these points, again he says that, so my intention is like this, my expectation is like this, so my desire is that my child should know all these values of life. So if possible, you can teach him. And also I know very well that you are very strong enough to teach him many more ideas that behind my expectation. So you should teach him what you can do. He is such a fine little fellow, my son. It means that my child is a very little fellow. In this line, what we can understand, whenever the children will come to our school, definitely they are very little fellows. They are too young to understand all these values of life. But indirectly, he suggests and he requests that the role of the teacher is very important to cultivate such wonderful values in the life of a child. And here Abraham Lincoln, he wrote this letter not only for his son's purpose. So his son is just a symbol, but he tells that it is that he wrote this letter in the concern of all the children, what the teachers can do. If the teachers decide to do something, what kind of people they can create and contribute to the nation. Such kind of people can change the destiny of the nation. So that one he knew. So knowing this truth, he wrote this wonderful letter, which is going to give the message to the parents and the children and also to the teachers. I hope you people have understood this poem clearly. Thank you all.